This is the size of the crane I want. So I guess it's 3x. And I want to use a pulley. I haven't used the pulleys before, or yet. But I'm thinking I just do that and then go down. The problem is I don't think the pulley, it has to be a rope. It can't be a electrical cable, which means no magwells, which is dumb, really dumb for a crane. So then do I need this like a thing with a battery as well, which is even dumber. You would need like magwell, hardpoint, maybe, probably a radio. And then you also need this other hardpoint, which would like have to go there. Or here? Ugh. This really ruins my idea. Electrical anchor. Can I connect the electrical anchor? Nope. Has to be a rope. Must be a rope. I need to know if I can use an electrical cable first, is because I want the base of the crane to be like that and just be rigid. And then a hinge of some kind here. Then the bit that goes out like the boom, and then another bit of the boom, and then a pivot down here, and then the pulley in the middle. But I want it to be able to go all the way back to the very base of the crane so that it can slide all the way through. And so I could have like the boom fully extended, but the pulley could be all the way back here. Because I guess a lot of the time cranes will pivot down the bottom as well. And then if you like pivot that back and this up, then you can start grabbing stuff directly at the base. But if I just have a pulley that runs the whole length, I actually don't know, does it need to pivot up at all then? Or is it just an L? It's an upside down L. I really want to do this pulley thing. So I'm gonna have to figure out some way. Otherwise I can't have a magwell, no magwell. I would need like a decoder as well anyway. The hardpoint is there because a hardpoint acts as a battery. Hardpoint has a small amount of charge in it. That's like all the pieces you would need. So the radio sends into the microcontroller, which converts to on-off to turn the magwell on. The hardpoint provides some battery and enables it to recharge when it's connected back into the other hardpoint. And the rope is what lets you raise and lower it. Or alternatively, you just have a hardpoint on a rope. It's like an attachment thing. And then as a separate thing, you have the piece that will connect to the hardpoint. Then this is covered in magwells, or I don't know, has one. And then you put a microcontroller on this. Then you have this attachment thing where you've got to decode stuff. I don't know, I might be able to make the microcontroller completely invisible and still work. I would also probably need a radio antenna, because you need to be able to send the on-off signal. The other thing I guess is that the winch moves, but that's kind of ugly. I guess that's what I wanted to try and avoid, is having to move the winch. Yeah, they really need like this piece of the hardpoint, but just one block. Just give it like a comp, move that up to there. I guess that's nothing, so you can't. Ugh, very frustrating. How am I going to get around this? I'm just going to make the crane then at the bottom, I guess, because I'll start at the bottom since I know basically how I want it to be. I guess do I use a robotic pivot or a velocity pivot? I should use a velocity pivot. The robotic pivot would be fine, except I think I want to be able to go just a little bit past 180 degrees. So first I need to make a nice big circle, probably 5x circle, maybe even bigger than this. Yeah. I want it to look like it's maybe got some kind of ridge in it, and a flywheel would look really good, except that is kind of what I want. Kind of. Then I need like a little box. So there's probably going to be like 4 blocks here, and this is where the railing connects into it. Then I want a box of some kind. Something like that. And then the crane comes up one side of it mostly. I don't like this anymore. Changed my mind about that. Gonna attach the ring. So now there's like a thing there. And then somewhere up the top I think it should hinge. So using a robotic door hinge is probably the easiest way to do this. It's just not gonna look very nice. Oh, you know what? I should just do... How tall is this? 16. So that's 15. I want to keep it like the same kind of width as it comes up here. Probably curve this off. And I'll use 2 small robotic pivots. Face them outwards and then I'll delete the pieces or make them invisible. And yeah, because I wanted to have the winch like sitting on top basically. And then have the pulley go across. This would be really good actually if the winch was down here. Yeah, like even if it was just very embedded, you could just hide it. Then in here I guess, how much of this needs to be exposed? You want to have the pulley end coming out like that. Drop this middle wedge down so that it meets up with the top of the pulley. Cut into here, but not into the pivot. That's not good. So the winch goes there. We bring all these sides up so that I can hide the winch better. Need a service hatch, which can be a sliding hatch. Now I just have this little free gap I need to cover up. I kind of want it to be a bit curvy here, so if I use a belt, it takes care of that curve. These belts would even probably look good here. Maybe not. I need something really solid. Could be... I don't think I'm gonna need so much of this bottom section. Actually, it'll just end up getting merged into the bottom because this is going to kind of be hanging off the side. So the winch goes up into the pulley, then the boom happens. So I'm pretty much going to get rid of all those. That's very long, isn't it? It doesn't need to be that long. Then this pulley goes like that. Does this even work? Like, can pulleys be on different subgrids? Yeah. Oh, I'm not convinced. I like parts of it, but I don't like that you can't use an electrical cable on this. What if the pulley was connected to the pivots? I'm sort of going with, I'm going to build it with just pulleys and pray and hope that the developers add the ability to use electrical ropes, or maybe they make some kind of other pulley that will work with it or something. So we'll have A and D does the pivot, W and S does these pivots. So pivoting down isn't going to work with that thing in the back, the wedge in the back. Pivoting up seems relatively okay. I wonder if I put it on the side, but it would look cool if it were running along the boom. Also need to just like build an actual boom. The way I'm going to do this one I think will be something like this, and then grippers to keep it straight. And then I think I'll probably put an XML'd something. I'm trying to think of like, how do you make an I-beam if it were 2 by 2, you could do this on both sides. That's very unusual. Kind of looks like an I-beam. Oh, this looks like an I-beam. Oh, do you see? Do you see? If we use a track like, come on, don't be like that. If we use a track that way and a track this way, then we take the track, chuck it upside down. It needs to be at the other end. And it goes like that. So when this is going forwards, it's actually pulling the track out. Alright, and then what we can do with this as well is connect a gripper. Oh, this is so smart. Into the back of it. And that will run along that track at the top, keeping it all straight. And then along the bottom, I don't think it matters, but if I use another track, I could put it upside down. That might look really cool. I'll leave it all solid for now. So that's like the inside and the outside of the boom. It'd be good if I could do like the rope hanging along the bottom of it. So the pulley would be like that. Do rope anchors, I guess they don't act like a pass-through. So bulky, you know? So bulky. I might be able to just put it up here though, because that rope will still, it'll just clip. Now I need to like curve off the top. I wonder if I should use wedges or if I should use like a door or even a belt. It's not curvy enough. What's a curvy thing, like a barrel, a rocket? But then I need it to be like that, stretched and offset. That's not really gonna work. Because like only the bottom section actually needs to exist, I could cut most of this top section off, then take a rocket, hide it in here sideways, and then XML it to stretch across this whole thing. Then I would have to put a block on top of that and XML that to stretch across all the way to the back so it looks like it's solid. I think that's just too many shenanigans. Let's just get the get a wedge on it, wedge it up. It won't be that bad, and I can always come back and decorate it. So that pulley goes in the back. Most likely it gets completely sealed in. Then the pivots could go here. I don't think pivots is the way to do this. I think it's gonna have to be a hinge. Just because of like how big it is. This is sort of what I wanted. I don't like how it stops being this rounded shape. Why did pulleys have to be so big and ugly? Blech. Well, let's take what I've got, chuck it on the back of the carrier cat, and then see if it looks any good. Look at that. I got it all pretty spot on. I need to remove the controls and probably all of this bottom part so that it's easier to blend in. Is that not perfect? Oops, no, not that piece. Oh, Maybe I've botched it a little bit. So I want these rails to connect to the bit that's not turning. So I need to lift it up quite a lot. Maybe I'll copy it down so that if I screw it up again, it's easy to replace it. So where this door is, the sliding hatch, put down. You want that to just be above the rail. And then these two rails will just become normal intersection rails. They connect into there. I need to go up one more, up at least one more. it might be better to go up 2. Nope, up 1. See, that's, I feel like that's too much height. All I've really got to do is just cut off like 1 at the bottom, paste that in, get a pivot, chuck that in here, and connect that to that. Yeah, that gets rid of my winch almost completely, but you can see here there's a whole lot of space below that for the winch. That's what I'm betting on. And then from here, where it like gets down below the main body, that's when we swap over probably to the 2s, 1x2 pyramids, and just pull it right in. So then in here can be a hatch, and the door just needs to go down, which not sure how I feel about that. Having it slide down is, you know, takes up a bit of space in there. What is all this? See, I think the winch could even fit back in here if I wanted it to. But if I put it in the bottom, this calls for a turret ring. Is this one big enough? Or is it too big? It's too big. I need the little one. I don't know which way this is, so who knows? Let's try and get it aligned that way. And then I can put all the winches, or the winch, down there. I don't need the hole here, but it will make it look a bit nicer, so that the rope can just run up the middle of that. Probably should just have a floor through here. This won't need... The only reason, well, I like the sliding hatch, but it is poking down a bit. We'll figure that one out later. So you can see the winch, which means you can always reconnect things. Yeah, I don't like how these wedges have to become flat to like accommodate for the hinge where its movement is. This isn't what I want. So where this hinges, I think I actually want it to hinge down, straight down the side here, which might be a little tricky. So when that hinges, it can go straight down. It's still a bit wide if I'm going to have it here because it'll interfere with this rail, but I can always just push it out across. I can push it out 1, or I can just make my crane only 2 wide. That seems kind of dumb. I think this hinge should be in the middle of this segment, even though this is 4, so there is no middle. If I come out like 2 and go down 1, then the hinge point stays in the same place. I think I have to make this like 3 wide, except I'm doing it wrong again. Doing it wrong. This whole bottom section needs to go, and instead, see, it's not gonna, it doesn't need a boom, it needs a track. I mean, a boom would help. A boom would help, but a track would be better. So now the pulley can come all the way back to here, so I can pick stuff up close to the base. I won't be able to put any containers on with this crane because it's not tall enough. I am thinking I'm going to get rid of the door. It'll be a massive door on the back. God damn them. If they had just made like a single block that had 2 holes on it and then just made it look like a rocket like this. Just put a hole on this side and a hole on that side and say that's the pulley. That would have been fantastic. I might as well just have a winch on the end, you know? Because why? What if I do the pulley up beside it, and then I can definitely cover up one side. How big does the winch have to be? Like, is the 150 too much? Because like the pulleys are so massive. There's almost no point in using a pulley because it's the same size as the winch. But I lose all the functionality if I use a pulley, where I can just chuck a winch right on the end. Okay, I just want to see if this fits really. If I go down, damn, that is not good. And it doesn't really fit. It's bonking the side there, so I would have to shave off one side. And I don't know why it's so unresponsive. What about left and right? Yep, that all works as I expected, which is good. So yeah, the rotation I wanted was like out over that corner and then back around and in onto the little bit of deck. So velocity pivot is important for that. And then the boom comes in and out easy enough. But this is where I'm starting to go, like, this crane is overkill for this situation. Don't you think? It's just like the connection at the top as well that makes it real weird. If it pivoted at the top, maybe, and then maybe it resets like this actually, that'd be cool. I could do that. Falling out though, that should lock, which means I'll need a hard point in the back. So the point of the shape is so that it can close up and be pretty flush. This thing, I thought it looked kind of neat, but it's probably not helpful. And this whole thing would need to go up. So when it's connected to these pivots, it can lay flush right down. The other thing I might have to do, it won't come down too far, so I don't know if I have to shave off the whole bottom section, but I might have to bring all these rails in like this. And then I use a corner one here, I think. And I also need to use a corner one on the other side, which is a bit yuck. It doesn't look as good as just coming straight out of it. That's a lot better. I switched over from direct input to using a counter, and now it responds real nicely. So yeah, like that could be a closed state. Looks a bit jittery. Oh, I guess like why would you ever have it go up? I really should have designed like a use case for this first. It's like what I was thinking is it can put containers on and that's about it, but then having the boom makes no sense because why would you need to extend it? Also the height that it's at kind of makes no sense because a container is so heavy that you would have to lift it up and then you're like gonna bonk the loading ramp. Maybe I guess if you're like you're saying I'm gonna try and load stuff on the helipad, that also doesn't make sense. No bueno. Another thing I was thinking is that I kind of want to use this section or this side as a staircase up. So maybe I should put that in now and then I'll know like, is it too close for the crane? Does the crane actually need to move? Ah, perfect. So that's gonna come up to here and then it does look like it might already be in the right place. Get rid of this rail and incline middle. Yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Then I can use the railing to like figure out how far in I want to come. 1 2 3 4 5. Do another one, and then it was one before, so like there. A lot of comments I've been getting is like, I don't really need that door in the floor, and I think most people are right. 1 2 3 4 5. I'm most likely going to be getting rid of that door for containers. I was going to bring the ceiling up. Well, I have the space. I have loads of space. And because the rails here are being a bit, you know, it's 2, 3, 4, and then was 5. 5 is at the top. That kind of lines up. So I can now copy over this one, this rail. Even though this is all external, I think it's nice to have the rails on both sides. And then these bits here will become corners. They'll go directly into the wall. And then there'll be a door here. I think the internal bit of rail needs to not be there because of like landing helicopters and stuff. Or it's probably okay. You crash your helicopter on the deck because you hit the rail, you can leave a complaint. 1, 2, 3, 4. God damn. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Fine. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think these are all fine. I guess like this wall should come all the way out. Even if there's nothing in there behind here, because that'll all just get sealed off and then the walkway comes up here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Was it 3? This is 3. And then it will cut back in through here. These are all just going to be little under the stair rooms where putting generators and stuff will go. And I could even put a staircase that comes down from that. So how was that related to the crane? It was not. Oh no, look at this rail. What have I done? What have I done? There is no like corner angle, which would be really good to just go in there. Disgusting. If I bring the wall forwards, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, so this door, I want to change how that works basically completely. Maybe bring it up a little bit higher. I'm gonna cut out this thing in the floor because it'll free up some space. Goodbye, door in the floor. We might see door in the floor come back as maybe a different kind of door in a different place. Okay, so now I've got the rail connects into a wall, which then is just like poking out randomly, which I'm okay with. I think that's kind of a nice looking thing. Even it might be better to just completely cover the door frame, even the whole way around maybe. The only thing is that if I bring it all the way down, I'm kind of screwed with my rail again. Unless, let me bring this door forwards. Let me get rid of that button. The button is not necessary. Poke that rail out one. Ta-da! I actually don't know if that's gonna work. And I wanted something similar to what I had over here, where it's like supporting the loading ramp. I reckon I could get away with more like individual segments. I don't know, something like that, just some support things. I'll probably redo this because it does look a bit goofy. I feel like I'm just procrastinating figuring out the crane. And I haven't saved this at all. Right, the crane. What am I doing with the crane? I don't know why I'm struggling so much on this crane. It doesn't need to do much. I'm gonna sit here and look at it until I understand what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Please work. What have I done? Okay, so I added this big sort of like shroud thing on the door, so the door will be sort of back in, and it's gonna go up into the roof. So it's a much bigger door, which makes things a bit nicer. This rail came out a little bit, which doesn't really matter because you don't notice anything over that side. Over this side, it's gone out a little bit extra to meet up with the edge of the bottom of the crane and to allow for, I guess this will become a corner rail. And then this one connects onto there, so it's like everything's sort of shuffled around a little bit. And so now I've got a winch. Because I went back to Pulleys. I don't have a pulley, like I don't have controls for the winch yet. So I can go, oh man, that's not good. It needs a lot more weight. But now if I go up, it goes up, it's down. I decided I just needed to simplify it. I think I need to like reverse the way the side that the track is on. But yeah, I'm happier with this. It's just simple and it's just kind of what I wanted it to do. I think I probably need to do something else with the pulley because I wanted it to be able to rotate or come right back to the beginning. If this crane didn't go up and down, if it just stayed like this the whole time, then I could slide the pulley along the whole length of it, make it. I think that's kind of what I was going for in the beginning, you know? I don't think this up and down motion is actually anything to do with like what I originally wanted. I might just get rid of that because maybe I've just been led astray. Oh yeah, so I made like the arm piece only 2 blocks wide so that I could have sort of, you know, like the thing, you know, so that it could fold down on the side, and then there's a pulley up here for the rope to go through. What I'm thinking right now though is maybe I should just do like a track there, not have any up and down movement in it at all, and then the pulley starts way back here. So the pulley just moves, and then I guess maybe what I was going for is that it pivots from here to fold down, but it only goes up to allow the thing to move across it. That would make sense, right? I can still use a robotic pivot. I can probably use 2 and then I'll hide the second one, and that gives me more motor force. If it were to start, I mean, it's going to rotate down, yeah, exactly down. Well, it might have to rotate around to here, then go down. It seems like it's going to be quite a long system here. And then I do a track, probably. I could do it sideways. Maybe. 3rd time's a charm. Right. So that's kind of what I wanted to have happen. So I press 1 and it comes up to like its normal state. You can see now I've got the pulley very close to the base. This is what I wanted. So the pulley just goes along. Alright, so that way you can grab stuff that's off the side of the ship, pull it in close, and then put it down, you know, like where you need it. What? Why is that not going down? Do pulleys even work? Have I just built this whole thing around pulleys and they don't even work? The rope goes out of the winch, into the first pulley, through that into the next pulley, and then that pulley goes over to this, which might have been connected on the wrong grid. I kind of wanted the thing when it folds down to go off the side of the ship. And I need some hard points to lock it in place as well. Oh no, it won't extend. I don't know why the rope is like so heavy in the first part of it that it's not letting this thing come down. I would have to get another rope, which luckily I have a bunch of them here. And then maybe how do I make it a short rope? Move closer. I'm in its face, what the hell? This is weird. The way it works, very strange. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. It seems like such a massive hassle to use pulleys. Because look, the rope in the middle is now, yeah, the rope is heavier than the thing on the end. This is not going to work. Pulleys suck. Pulleys suck. Oh no. The whole rope system is busted. Which means I have to either go to like a small winch and I just control it from there. God damn, man. This game hurts so much. I read something about how rope weighs like 10 kgs or something. 10 mass per rope. So yeah, rope in the hatch doesn't make any sense. Having the hatch doesn't make any sense. My dreams have been shattered. Yeah, I guess you'd want it to fold down like this off the back, so it can't start like this. Well, it probably can actually. Maybe I should be building it to start fully closed. And then it would be able to occupy the same sort of space as the loading ramp. I definitely prefer this a lot more, where it's just like always out, like it's always horizontal and there's no funny up and downs. It's just like use your winch, slide the thing in. It's a lot simpler. I think I'll have to rebuild it though, where it's like started open on this kind of angle and that'll be at 0 position. And then I'm also going to have to lock it so that it can't rotate like into the main structure or the other way into the other side of the stairs. It'll need maximum min-max rotations, which isn't too hard because it's got a current output on it. But yeah, I'll start it closed like this, hanging off the back like the loading ramp. It's a bit annoying that didn't really work out, but at least I now know the limitations of a pulley. Pulleys are not that good unless you've got something really heavy on the end. But if you're just like running a winch for general utility recovering stuff, then it's not going to be a good idea to use pulleys. You need to always have something heavy hanging off the back. That's okay though. I'll get the crane done maybe before next episode even. I want to get started on the helipad up the top, and then I need to rebuild the door. But I'm definitely a lot happier with how this is coming along. I like the stairs on the side as well. I think they're really nice. And the door that goes up inside, halfway up the stairs. Amazing. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about my crane, and I'll see you next time.